Good morning. My name is Ms. Zepps, and today we're going to begin reading the first chapter in a chapter book. And the title of that first chapter is called Mark Wants a Video Game System, and it's highlighted here for you. I am going to repeat that title again a little later so that you don't forget it. Our objective after the story is completed, I want you to be able to tell me one thing Mark learns about jobs. I want you to be able to tell me one thing Mark learns about jobs. Repeat that objective. I will remember one thing Mark learns about jobs. All right, let's begin. Before we begin reading our story, we're going to go over some special words that you will see and hear in the story. Pay close attention to the word and the picture that is associated with the word. Our first word is earn. Repeat that word after me. Our next word is job. Repeat that word after me. Our next word is money. Repeat that word after me. Very good, very good. So now we're going to move on to our first chapter in our chapter book. And I have a question for you. I want you to think about it. What can you earn money from? A job or a plant? I'll repeat the question again. What can you earn money from? A job or a plant? Take a second to think about that. You can earn money from a job. If you said job, you were correct. Very good. Working at a job can help people earn money to buy things that they want or need. So here is our first chapter, and the title of our first chapter is Mark Wants a Video Game System. All right, so if we move down, let's go over here. One more. There we go. Before we go back there, let's go here. Okay, so the title of the whole book is called Mark's Money, and the author is Catherine Rodman, and the book was illustrated by Alex Weishart. So now let's go to the first chapter, which we've already talked about. Mark is at his friend John's house. Okay, so if we look at this picture here, we can see that John and Mark are playing a video game, right? So let's go to the next page. We're just going to look at the pictures right now and talk about what's going on in each picture. And we see here that Mark is here talking to a lady. I wonder if that lady is his mom. And they're both thinking about something. Let me make it a little bit bigger. He's thinking about his video game system. Make this a little bit bigger for you. He's thinking about his video game system, and mom is thinking about all of the different jobs he can do, because you can see that persons are doing different things. Somebody's painting, somebody's sweeping, somebody is working in an office. All right, so let's go to the next picture. And there is mom again. And she's thinking about a person who is working to earn money, and then she's has a thought of, is it a need or want? Need or want? Wants are things we would like to have. Needs are things that we need to live. And there's John again. John is thinking about groceries. Why would he be thinking about groceries, I wonder? Now John is inside the grocery store and it looks like he's talking to the cashier. And the cashier, or maybe she's a store manager because I see here, here's a person who's bagging groceries. And maybe she's thinking about offering Mark a job. Here we see this lady again, and we see another person who's holding a bag of groceries. And there is Mark. Oh, wow. Look at what it says, application for employment. So maybe Mark is going to apply for a job. All right, so let's go back to the beginning of our story and read on. At the bottom of each page, you're going to see there is a question, and I'm going to read that question to you so you don't have to worry about trying to see it. I will read it to you. And it's going to help us to understand our story as we go along. So Mark is at his friend John's house. They are playing on John's new video game system. Mark loves to play video games. I wish I had one of those systems, says Mark. Mark thinks about how he can get his own video game system. So the question that is right here at the bottom says, what does Mark want? Take a second to think about that. Did you say he wants a video game system? If you said that, you were correct and you were being a good listener. Let's go on to the next page. All right, Mark gets home from John's house. He talks to his mother. I really want a video game system, says Mark. Is there any way I can get one? I know a great way you can get a video game system, says Mark's mother. You can get a job. A job can help you pay for a video game system. The question at the bottom of the page says, how can Mark get the video game system? Take a second to think about the answer. Did you say you can get a job or Mark can get a job? You were correct if you said that. Very good. Sometimes people need to earn money to buy things, says Mark's mother. Having a job is a great way to earn money. Money helps you buy things you want or need. Money from a job can help you buy the video game system. How can having a job help Mark get what he wants? Think about that for a second. Did you say if he earns money from a job, that would help him to get the video game system? You're exactly right. Now, let's look at this picture once again. Mark's mother tells him that having a job is a great way to earn money. Money helps you buy things that you want or need, right? So we see here the symbol for job, okay? And then there is an exchange of money. All right. Mark thinks about what kind of job he can get. He remembers that John works at the grocery store. Maybe I can get a job at the grocery store like John, says Mark. Mark's mother thinks this is a great idea. Mark and his mother go to the grocery store. Mark walks up to the customer service counter. Mark asks the store manager if they are hiring. The grocery store is looking for grocery baggers, says the store manager. Mark wonders what a grocery store bagger does. And let's listen to the question at the bottom of the page. What is the job opening at the grocery store? Take a second to think about that. Did you say grocery store bagger, which is right here? You were correct. Yes, the job opening was a grocery store bagger. The store manager explains the job. A grocery bagger helps to put groceries in bags for customers. They can also carry the groceries to the customer's car. Then they help put the bags into the car. A grocery bagger needs to be helpful and kind. So let's underline those two words, helpful and kind. We know that grocery store bagger needs to be those two things, and I believe Mark can do it. Mark thinks this could be a good job for him. Mark picks up a job application. A job application is a form people fill out to get a job. Mark will fill out the job application at home. Mark is excited he may be able to get a job. I'm excited for Mark. Are you? He is ready to start earning money. He can't wait until he can buy a video game system. The question at the bottom of the page says, what is a job application? Take a second to think about that. Did you say a job application is a form people fill out to get a job? You were exactly right. Yes, that is correct. All right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to answer some questions about the story we just read. We're going to answer some questions about the story we just read. So let's go to our very first question. I'm going to make it bigger so that you can see. And I'm going to give you some tips because there are two ways that you can come up with the answers to your questions. There we go. Our first sentence is Mark wants a something. So let's look at our choices and let's say each word. Money, earn, video game system, job, grocery store. So we always use our story to find out the answer to our sentence. Mark wants a what? Which one of these does he want? Take a second to make a choice. You can point to your screen if you like. All right, let's go to our story. So we can see that Mark was at his friend's house, and he says he loves to play those video games, and he says he wanted one of those systems or video game system, and it's right here. Video game system. All right, so let's go to our sentence and Let's put video game system in there. And we were correct. If you chose video game system, you were correct. Very good. Now, here's the second tip on how you can figure out the answer to a question. What you can do is insert each, well, not necessarily insert, but you can say the word for the blank. And if once you put the word in the blank and it makes sense in the sentence, has to make sense, that's important, you can use that word in that sentence. So let's try that right now. So if I pretend like I'm going to put money here, a money can help Mark pay for what he wants. Does that make sense? So we can cross out money. We're pretending that we're crossing out. A earn can help Mark pay for what he wants. That doesn't make sense. So we can cross that one out. A video game system can help Mark pay for what he wants. Now, that fits in the blank, but can a video game system pay for something? So once again, the phrase or the word has to make sense. A job can help Mark pay for what he wants. That sounds correct. So let's put a pretend check mark there. A grocery store can help Mark pay for what he wants. See, that key word is pay. Can a grocery store pay for something? So we know we can't use that. So it must be job. Very good. All right. Statement 3. A job gives people something for doing work. Let's see what our choices are. Is it money, earn, video game system, or grocery store? Let's go back and use our story to figure out the answer. So we see mom here, she's talking to Mark, and if you remember, she told him that a job can help you pay for a video game system, and the answer is right here. All right, so let's go back. So we know that a job can help him pay for it, but what does he need to earn to get to pay for the system? So let's go back again. And we know here it says a job is a great way to earn what? Money. Right there. So let's go back over here. Oops. And put money here. Yes, a job gives people money for doing work. You did a great job with answering those sentences. So let's go to our next activity. Okay. So now we're going to answer some key questions about our story. Okay. So it says here, what is this chapter about? What is this chapter about? And we have some choices. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see. And we're going to do the same thing with this activity that we did with the activity where we had to fill in the sentence with the correct word. We're going to use our story to help us answer the questions. So question 1 says again, what is this chapter about? Wanting a video game system, playing in the pool, going to the movies. I'm going to read those choices again. A, wanting a video game system. B, playing in the pool. Or C, going to the movies. Make a choice. Okay, let's go back to our book. And if we look right down here, Mark says he wish he had a video game. He loves to play them, and he wish he had one of those systems. So we know that he wanted that video game system. And it's also written right down here as well. Okay. All right. Number 2 says, what can help Mark pay for his video game system? What can help Mark pay for his video game system? A, bag. B, job. C, counter. Now for this question, we're going to use a system called process of elimination. So can a bag help him earn a video game system? So we can put a pretend X over that. We know that a bag cannot do that. Can a job help Mark pay for a video game system? Well, that sounds correct. Let's put a pretend check mark there. Can a counter pay for a video game system? That's not possible, so we can put a X there. So it must be job. All right, so that was your second way of getting the correct answer. Number 3, what does a job give people for doing work? What does a job give people for doing work? A, money. B, flowers. C, toys. Make a choice. So here again, we're going to use our story to help us answer the question. And you can see here that Mark's mom said having a job is a great way to earn what? Money. Money will give you what you need, will help you buy the things that you want or need. So you have to have that job in order to get the money. So what does a job give you for doing work? Did you choose money? You were correct. Number 4, where does Mark think about working? Where does Mark think about working? Where does he think about working? Was it a bike shop, movie theater, or a grocery store? Make a choice. So let's use our story to find out what the answer is. So there's Mark, and he's thinking, it looks like that's a grocery store, but let's see if we can find it in our story. And right here it says, maybe I can get a job at the grocery store like John. Okay, very good. So let's go here. Where does Mark think about working? Grocery store. If you selected grocery store, you were exactly. Let's move on down. What is important to know about this chapter? What is important to know about this chapter? A, Mark and John eat lunch. B, Mark wants to earn money. Or C, Mark wants to work at the zoo. So we're going to use the process of elimination technique here. If we look back at our story, if we remember, if we look back at our story here, let's go back. We remember that Mark and John were playing a video game. there is nothing in here that talks about them going to lunch, right? So we can put a pretend X there. So we know that that's not the answer. Mark wants to earn money. Let's go back to our story. Here we see, right in here, his mom is talking about where my cursor is. Let me give you this. Mom is talking about earning money because we remembered, if we go back in our story, that Mark wanted that video game system, right? And we know his mom was telling him that a job could help him get that. So what's important to know about this chapter? So we knew it wasn't that they wanted to eat lunch. Mark wants to earn money. Well, we can put an imaginary check right there because it's the story talked about earning money. Mark wants to work at the zoo. If we go back to our story, do we see any pictures about Mark going to a zoo? Do we see any? Do we remember reading about that as you listened and as I read along? You remember me saying anything about a zoo? And the answer to that would be no. So it must be this right here, and we were correct. Mark wants to earn money. All right, you did a very good job with that activity. Now we're going to go on to another activity. And this particular activity is going to be on the main idea. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you the question. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about it. Excuse me. And then we're going to compare notes. Okay? We're going to compare notes. So it says here, what is the story about? What is the story about? Think about that for a second. What was the story about? If you said Mark wanted a video game system. If you said that, you were right. You were exactly right, okay? So now we have 3 sections to this activity. In the beginning, then, and at the end. What happened in the beginning of our story? Take a second to think about that. If we go over here and look at our story, we can see that Mark and John were playing a video game together and they were really enjoying themselves. Okay? So did you say Mark was playing a video game with his friend John? If you said that, you were correct. Okay, so after this particular incident happened, what happened? Take a second to think about that. And we see Mark's mother here. Did she suggest that he get a job to pay for his video game system? Exactly. Did you say that? You were correct. All right. All right. So remember that mom told him to get a job to help pay for his video game system. And what happened at the end? What happened at the end of that story? And we know that Mark went down to the grocery store and got a job application to become a grocery bagger so that he could get that video game system. So he went to apply for a job at the grocery store. So what is important to know about this whole chapter? Take a second to think about that. Okay. So did you say if I want something special, I have to work for it? Now, you may not have a job right now, but you may do chores around the house, and mom or dad may give you some money for that. But in order for you to get the things that you want, you have to work for it. And there's that word right there. You have to work for it. You have to do a job to get it. Remember, as you think about your chores, do a really good job so that you can get something special. Remember, in order to get something special, you must work. I hope that you enjoyed our lesson today. Please stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.